So my approaches to teaching and learning skills was research. For research skills in the IB program, there have always been a major focus on research in any learning process, but now especially with a world that has a wide availability of digital resources, and the recent explosion of information in the digital age can be overwhelming for students. So the IB program focuses on developing intriguing questions of analysis, appraising sources for validity, synthesizing information, and increased engagement and understanding with those sources. Going hand in hand with that is academic honesty. Academic honesty in the IB program serves several functions in relation to research skills. It promotes personal integrity, the integrity of others and their work, ensures all students have equal opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge, and during research, students will be required to acknowledge all sources used for work submitted for assessment and to consistently use a standard style of referencing of the student's choice. For research in the literature course specifically, it will play a part in all areas of exploration in Literature A. But for specifics, under the area of exploration of intertextuality, students may want to research things like, how has the poetry we have studied been affected by allusions from other genres or texts? How has this affected the meaning of the poetry itself? The use of journals or peer-reviewed work to understand the relationships between texts beyond what is studied in the classroom. The use of interviews, primary sources or similar, to help discuss or study specific concepts covered within the works, for instance, gender or colonialism. They may use critiques, both historical and modern, to discuss the validity of a work. And there's many more beyond that. Research is also going to play a major part in the assessment portion of the Literature A program, specifically in the development of the higher level essay, internal assessment with the oral, and study and preparation for paper 2. So research in the higher level essay will require students to develop a level of inquiry that is much higher than usual for a high school student, on specific literary texts or texts. Requires a focused and analytical argument. It requires the citation of sources. It requires research to link to the 7 core concepts. Most of the time, students are recommended to choose one as a guide. Link works from a specific author outside of the class of study to a chosen work. And research and the internal assessment, or the independent oral specifically, students will be asked to research global issues in relation to text studied, develop a well-supported inquiry question through research, and focus that question for appropriate breadth, neither too focused nor too broad. Research when specific moments of global issues appear within texts to help choose extracts, and prepare and develop prior knowledge for unknown questions during the interview itself. The more you know, the better prepared you are. And then research and learning portfolio. The learning portfolio is an excellent way to develop and hone research skills. While it won't be formally assessed, the skills and practice it can provide are invaluable. Activities can include, but are not limited to, teacher modeling on note-taking in class, practicing synthesizing notes from class or outside sources, and this can include condensing, prioritizing information, and or learning how to paraphrase information. It may include peer review of study notes and possible questions for study to help students focus on what they will further research. They may get peer review for internal assessments or the higher level essay topics through things like speed dating exercises. Checklists for whether or not sources are reliable versus suspect. They may have a record of sources used in class or discovered independently for assessment, higher level independent oral or otherwise. And they may keep a record of key passages or quotes that they can then link to further research. All of these things are skills that are going to be important for students in the Literature A course to really hone their skills and be successful in the course itself.